My name is Michael Kaplan, and I am the chair of the Thomas R. Porter Lifetime Achievement Award Council. I'm proud to be the chair, and today is probably one of my favorite days as relates to my involvement in the Lifetime Achievement Award Council, because today I have the opportunity to present the award to this year's esteemed recipient. Let me tell you a little bit about the background of this award. It's named after Thomas R. Porter. Tom Porter was a very dear friend of mine, and he was a friend of our recipient. I know that Nancy knew him and knew of his professional capabilities, and he knew of her professional capabilities, and we interacted. We all, were part of that core group of the NACVA way back when. Tom was considered to be the professional's professional. I mean, he was a natural leader. He was the guy that we all aspired to be when we grew up. He kept the bar high. He never, ever deviated from what was right. He was always there to help each and every one of us, all of our colleagues, when we faced our most challenging situations, our most challenging cases, be they professional or personal. Tom was there. He was an active and influential member of his community, of his church. He was the first one to acknowledge other people's accomplishments. He was the last one to take credit. Tom adored his family. And I know my life was better because I knew him, and I'm sure that Nancy will agree that he touched our lives in that way. Tom left us about 13 years ago. It's been that long. But all who knew him found themselves to be better professionals and had more of a direction in the way we approached our professional, our community, and our personal lives. So way back when, Parnell Black, the CEO of the NACVA, and I sat down and we talked about what do we do to preserve Tom's memory? What do we do in honor of Tom's memory? And we thought that a Lifetime Achievement Award would be the appropriate recognition. I mean, there are a number of outstanding individuals in the organization who are true leaders, who literally embrace and live those principles and are guided by those principles of life that Tom was guided by. And each year we go through the process. We go through the process of searching through our membership and identifying those individuals who are the appropriate candidates, who are the best candidates, who most reflect those life principles that were characteristic of Tom. We look for exemplary character, exemplary leadership, professional achievements, involvement in the community. And this year, I have the privilege, the honor and the privilege, and my heart's beating a little bit faster, to present this award to Nancy Gault. Nancy is one of the first persons that I met when I became a member of NACVA, as was Tom. When I say we go back a long time, we go back a long time. Okay. And I remember I was doing a program. I was presenting a program in Atlanta, and I'd need to bring in a guest attorney to assist me in participating in the program and presenting that which we were doing, and I needed a local guest attorney. I got on the phone, looked for a NACVA member in Atlanta, and who did I find? No one other than Nancy Gault. And I picked up the phone and called Nancy, and she just welcomed me with open arms. She was so happy to hear from me. We had never met before, but she stepped right up to the plate and literally introduced me to that person that I wanted to have as the guest speaker and guest presenter in my program. And it made all of the difference in the world. But it didn't end there, because Nancy's always been there, not only for me, but for many, many NACVA members. Certainly, anyone needs her guidance, needs her help, she's there. And that makes a difference. You know, we are in a profession where we're proud of what we do. We want to practice at the pinnacle of the profession. And there are those individuals who are out there, those individuals who are in our profession, who are there to guide us. And certainly Nancy is one of them. Now, at this point, I could be reading a lot of things from her CV and her bio and all of that. I just want to hit on a few high points. So those of you who have not yet had the privilege of meeting Nancy can know a little bit about her professional background. She's a partner in the Connexus CPA group. She's a certified valuation analyst, the credential that is conferred by the NACVA. Nancy, you were a CVA even before I was.
Come on.
Oh, yes. Nancy served on the executive advisory board and other boards, and was very, very instrumental in much of the, the cutting edge development and evolution of the profession. Certainly in the earlier days, and that continued on through her career and as her career evolved. And I know that you've been involved in other professional organizations, but always at the cutting edge of the profession. Nancy served as the president of NACVA's Georgia State chapter, and as an ambassador, always reaching out, always making sure that our new members and our ongoing members just really were welcomed as part of the group. Currently, she serves on 2 boards in the business community, on the advisory board of Coastal State Bank, the Atlanta Advisory Board, and on the SBA Certified Development Companies Advisory Board. And again, she's always been active in board participation in the community. But the most important thing, and we can't lose sight of it, especially at times like this, where we're all, we're doing business from home. We've got our small groups that that we're interacting with. At the top, and very similar to Tom Porter, who adored his family, Nancy adores her family. And she's always been there to guide her 3 daughters, who are now adults, but I remember them when they were kids. And I remember every time, we'd sit down and talk, you'd always bring me up to date on how the girls were doing. And I know you were very proud of them. But Nancy has always been there beside her daughters, involved in all kinds of activities, community activities, school activities, scouting activities. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a trip to Costa Rica.
That's right.
Where the group, actually, I think this was a church-based group that went there, and they were teaching certain skills, helping the residents, helping the population learn certain business-related skills, and you were leading the charge as far as teaching them those business skills that they needed to have to succeed. So very hands-on, always very hands-on. I'm proud to say that you're my friend.
You're my friend, Michael.
And it's, you know what, life is good. Life is good. And so here we are, and it is, and keep in mind, we're in different cities. Nancy is in Atlanta. I take it you're home in Atlanta now.
I'm home. Yep,
I am in Los Angeles, which is my home. And, so this is not a live it's live, but it's not an in-person presentation. So it is my privilege, my pleasure to present you with the Thomas R. Porter Lifetime Achievement Award. And if we were in the same room, I'd give you a big hug right now.
Oh, yes, we would be hugging for sure, Michael. We'd be hugging. I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough, the council enough, or the NACVA enough for this award that's very dear to my heart. Like you said, I knew Tom Porter. We were the early days. We were out there educating our members with passion, giving them support, giving them confidence. And I just remember just every week, there'd be new techniques, new ways of doing things. And it was our roles and our passion to support the members with this. And I remember it was yours and Tom's role to go national with it. My role was to set the state chapters so we could also support our members at a local level when they went back home. And like you said, I was the state chapter president for 19 years. But as an ambassador, that was my favorite part, was to be an ambassador for the NACVA, because I believed in it. I believed in the values that you and Tom Porter put to the organization. If you saw someone, you knew that they were your friend and they could call you to ask you questions and give you support. When I started my valuation world in the 90s, I remember one individual, I was taking a test and I didn't have a clue at the end of that test, I was going to be tested. And I couldn't go to the next level for certification until I passed that test. Right then, I knew I had to be with an organization that supported its members, and that was the NACVA. So of all the awards that I've received throughout my lifetime, this one is the most dear to my heart because I adored Tom Porter. He was just, and he also represented the NACVA with his passion for it. Today, some of my best friends has come from this organization. So everything I do, I try to, once again, do the same as Tom's standards. Always do what's right. That has been my motto through life. Do what's right, no matter how hard it is. And once again, Michael, this award, it means the most to me, and I cannot be most honored than to receive it. Thank you very, very much.